thumbnail. Wait. Gotta get a thumbnail. I hope these are one of the thumbnails, y'all. Look, I'm trying to figure this out. She's new to it, but she's true to it. Okay? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Khalif. You can also call me K for short. Welcome back. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you for checking out my channel. Thank you for always coming back to me and checking me out. I feel like we have a lot of good, strong energy. We have a very special connection on my channel, so thank you for checking me out and taking the time to like watch me and get a feel for my vibe and get a feel for my energy. It's such an honor. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. And, I'm trying to keep positive energy as best as I can. I'm trying to work through my own stuff, so it's great. And I'm really honored that you are a subscriber. For all of my new subbies, I got about 10 or 11 new subscribers within the last week. So thank y'all for subscribing to me. Tell a friend about my channel if you feeling my vibe. Here is where we talk pop culture, music, LGBTQ stuff, diversity stuff. We talk about all types of stuff, women's rights, all types of things, or things that affect women. So, I'm excited to have you here, and I just hope that I continue to deliver you great content that makes you feel good to keep you here. Drop down below and comment on each of these videos. I could use a little bit of that engagement. Like, share, and thank you for just supporting me and checking me out. Cool. Follow me on Instagram. That's KALEEFNOW. That's Khalif Now. And my Twitter is the same. That's KALEEFNOW. Khalif Now. Check me out. Also, check out my podcast. It's called The Perfect Blend Podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Radio Republic, Stitcher. So it's Pocket Cast. I think I already said that. It's everywhere. So check me out. And I'm so excited to be back. We have a heavy topic to talk about. And honestly, full transparency, this is my second time recording this video. And not only that, I have been honestly dragging my feet a little bit with recording this video because this is a very heavy topic. And it's something that affects me. It's something that if you are a trans person or a non-binary person or a drag queen or a gay person or a lesbian person or any part of the rainbow children is what I call it, the LGBTQ community, this is something that also affects you. There have been a plethora of anti-LGBTQ bills, at least 417 anti-LGBTQ bills that have been introduced across our nation, within the U.S. And it's something that does not make me feel good. And I want to preface this by saying, I'm not a political guru, but I do know a little bit of something. My job is not to tell you what to believe or, who to vote for and etc. But I believe that my subscribers who are here, I think that we're all on the same accord where we really believe in a progressive world where everybody can exist. And everyone could be themselves, And it's so important for us to be ourselves. And I want to make a note about this before I get into the content of this. It's so important for us to be ourselves, for us to live our lives, for us to live happy lives, as LGBTQ people across the spectrum, specifically my trans people. It's our right, you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. When I see stuff like this, it just reminds me that more work has to be done. And, there are moments where I imagine how the world was pre-2016 before number 45 came into office, before this, it feels like we're like in a dark era in a way. And we've had to hold on to hope when it comes to our political climate. With that being said, we are here in 2023. It is April, and they are trying their best to come after us post Roe versus Wade being reversed. And, so that was something that affected women and women's choice to give birth, and women and also people who have the ability to give birth, including my trans people who have the ability to give birth. But it totally erased the ability to have choice, and that is something that really took the world by storm. It is a complete just shocker that even happened. I still can't even believe that happened with the reversal of Roe versus Wade. So I knew we were next. I feel like we all knew this, and it's just a really spooky, weird time with what's going on with the GOP and the conservatives. It's just a really spooky time. It's a weird time. Let me go ahead and play something that I found on social media today from our good sis Amanda Sills. I wanna share this clip with you all. Hold on one second. Let me find it here.
To inspect the genitals of your children. They want to do it so bad.
At first,
Kansas Republicans want to inspect the genitals of your children. They want to do it so bad that they overrode a veto from the governor. Every single child in the state of Kansas would have to endure a genital exam to be allowed to play sports. In a state with over 3 million people, where only half a percentage point of people identify as trans. I want you all to really think about this one, okay? Legislators have created a law that allows them access to your children's genitals because they think you're so afraid of trans people that you're going to allow it. And what would these examinations look like? Who would be authorized to do them? How frequently would they take place? With the amount of teachers in Kansas just in the last year who have been accused and convicted of child molestation, you trust these people? These are all separate cases. You trust these people? You trust these schools to conduct genital inspections on your children? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Kansas Republicans want to inspect the genitals of your children. They want to do it so bad that they overrode a veto from the governor.
So that's just an example of the foolery of what's going on in this country, and right along with these inspections upon children's genitals, right? If I did understand that correctly, which I believe I did, child. That's also speaking to what's going on in regards to taking away minors' rights for gender-affirming care. Taking away the access that minors have to gender-affirming care for minors who are trans, right? And also challenging minors who are trans ability to play within sports, right? So there are several moving pieces going on all over this country, and I found a great article from CNN Politics, and I know CNN is probably but I did like how this article was written. So let me read this to you all. So, and this article was written on April 6th. Okay, so this was written yesterday. Let's see here, and it was written by Annette Choi. Published yesterday, April 6th. So at least 417 LGBTQ bills have been introduced in the state legislature across the United States since the start of the year, a new record according to American Civil Liberties Union data as of April 3rd. That's already more than twice the number of such bills introduced all of last year. Education and healthcare related bills in particular are flooding at unprecedented levels. Unprecedented levels. Okay, along with a renewed push to ban access to gender-affirming health care for transgender youth, there has been a heavy focus on regulating curriculum in public schools, including discussions around gender identity and sexuality. A total of 283 education-related bills have been introduced so far this year, more than twice the number of such bills introduced last year, according to ACLU data as of April 3rd. There has also been a shift in focus toward new category of bills. Just as states followed Florida's bill that opponents labeled Don't Say Gay, which restricts in-school discussions about sexual orientation or gender identity, several joined Tennessee in proposing bills that would ban drag performances. New bills are filed nearly every day, and the landscape is changing quickly. A bill that got introduced yesterday is almost old news, said Kat Carrick, a professor at the George Washington University LGBTQ Health Policy and Practice Program. So far, with anti-LGBTQ bills In 2023, state legislators have introduced 4 times as many healthcare-related anti-LGBTQ bills and twice as many education-related bills so far in 2023 than they did in all of 2022. Drag performances also are under heavy scrutiny for the first time. So after that, and I'm gonna put this article within the description, but they give us a full list of data, and it shows that as of 2022, there have been 123 anti-LGBTQ bills that are within the education side, or that affect education. And then in regards to the bills that affect healthcare that are anti-LGBTQ, there are 36. In regards to drag performances, this is the first year that drag performances have actually been targeted. So they're still fairly fresh. It looks like there are about 8 so far. But this is the first year that states have explicitly targeted drag shows via legislation, classifying them as adult cabaret entertainment and also putting it in the same category as strip clubs, right? Shout out to my sex workers. I'm not shaming y'all. But this is what the conservatives and GOP are doing across the country. And then there are other categories such as civil rights. There have been 19 bills that affect civil rights and inhibit civil rights. Accurate IDs. There have been 3 bills that affect accurate identifications that are considered anti-LGBTQ, and so forth. So with all that being said, let me wrap up this article. This is a quote from Gillian Brandstetter from he's speaking on behalf of ACLU. He said, in quote, "We have seen the scope and scale of these attacks increase over the last few years, starting around 2020 through 2021. This year, it's not just the total number that has gotten worse, but the extremity of the bills. Several states have introduced forced outing bills, which would require teachers to alert parents when a student begins going by a different name or pronouns, even without the consent of the student. That is crazy. 60 of the education-related bills introduced this year are forced outings bills, according to ACLU data." Here's another quote. "These bills rely on this sort of paranoid idea that teachers are secretly encouraging your kids to identify as trans and then not telling you about it," said Brandstetter. "It's fundamentally important that all young people feel they can build trust with the people that they spend most of their day with, which are their teachers." And we're going to pause right there. This is so... When it comes to being trans or gay or LGBTQ or lesbian, what we all know is that that's something that people don't influence us to do. I really hate that is still a stigma to this damn day. It really pisses me off that is still a stigma to this day, that conservatives and people who are Christian nationalists and things of that nature respect y'all beliefs, but it's bullshit what y'all do, right? It is bullshit, and sorry for my profanity and my language. I apologize for cussing. But it's just really disheartening that the rhetoric of teachers are influencing youth to be LGBTQ. When someone is LGBTQ, that is just how they feel. That is who they are. That is who that person is. We have these conversations all the time. Hell, even me doing this video was exhausting, but I felt like it was on my heart. And it was something that was sitting on my mind, so I was like, let me go and see what I have to say about it myself. Although I feel like I'm repeating the same things that other people are saying who are, who are advocating for this to not occur, But I don't know. I had to take a side break because that stigma is just so damn annoying. And it's just very, very annoying. It's super, super annoying. Let me continue this article. We're almost finished. So nearly 300 education-related anti-LGBTQ bills have been introduced so far this year. So there have been a surge in curriculum censorship bills, right? And let's touch base, right? Some of those bills center around gender and sexuality in public schools, but there are also bills that are in legislation that are being posed right now that are attacking that are attacking the teachings of African American studies and Latin A, Latin X studies as well, or any type of cultural studies, right? So that is something that is also happening. Oh, this article is a mess. Let's read a little bit more. The other school barriers category in the above chart includes two kinds. Okay, I don't want to read that. You guys can't see the chart. I can't show you the chart. Okay, hold on. So, all in all, sorry I'm all over the place. 24 of the 24 of more than 400 bills introduced this year have been signed into law in 11 states so far as of April 2023. A majority of them are healthcare and education related. Two, however, ban drag performances in public spaces. Okay. And let's take a look at the states. So it looks like these particular bills were passed in Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, South Dakota, Iowa, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, I believe this, Arkansas, Georgia, and Minnesota. Sorry, not Minnesota. My apologies. I think it's. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I promise I have a degree. Hold on. Child. Oh, Mississippi. Okay, cool. Oh, child. Lord have mercy. I was like, wait, hold on. What that one stand for? Cool. Yes. Okay, we were right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was Mississippi because at first I was like, wait, hold on. Okay. Drag shows. Okay, so let's finish this article really quickly. Sorry, you all. Drag shows began attracting scrutiny from conservative lawmakers as they began moving into the mainstream over the last decade. At least 39 bills targeting drag performances have been introduced in legislatures this year. A category didn't exist in past sessions, according to the ACLU. Several of the bills aim to group venues hosting drag shows with adult movie theaters and strip clubs, while others would prohibit performances from taking place in the presence of children. Republican sponsors say they worry that the performances expose children to sexually provocative and inappropriate themes. Last week, a federal judge paused enforcement of Tennessee's drag ban hours before it was set to go into effect in a case brought by a Nashville theater company against the controversial law. More than two-thirds of the healthcare-related bills introduced this year would ban gender-affirming care for trans youth. 10 of those bills have been signed into law so far this year. According to a CNN review of state legislation and ACLU data, there's more than triple the number of bills passed in 2021 and 2022 combined. So y'all see, they running this up, y'all. Look. Gender-affirming care is medically necessary. Evidence-based care that uses a multidisciplinary approach to help a person transition from their assigned gender, the one the person was designated at birth, to their affirmed gender, the gender by which one wants to be known. We're almost done, I promise y'all. The majority of Americans, 54%, oppose the bills criminalizing gender transition related medical care for minors, according to a recent NPR PBS Marist poll. Several of the bans passed in previous years are currently held up in court. So, we have about half of the country who is opposing these particular bills that are going into effect right now. Where does this article leave us, you all? Let's wrap it up. We're almost done, I promise. In the last couple of weeks, Idaho's governor signed a bill restricting transgender students from using school bathrooms that align with their gender identities. And Kentucky lawmakers overrode the governor's veto to pass a sweeping bill that would ban gender-affirming care for trans children. This new wave of anti-LGBTQ legislation, many directly targeting the nearly 2 million transgender people living in the United States, comes at a time while one in four transgender adults say they have been physically attacked, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation Washington Post survey conducted at the end of 2022. The rate is higher for trans people of color. That is the end of that article. But I share that with us tonight to say that there is a lot going on, and I know I'm talking so much in this video. And honestly, the goal of this particular video is just to spread the word as to what's going on. I know that people have been seeing it. I've been seeing it all over my social media. And I guess the goal of tonight's video, honestly, because I'm exhausted, I'm fucking tired. And this is something that, even though I'm not a teen anymore, this still affects trans people as a whole, right? they are figuring out ways to ban trans affirmative care all the way up until age 26, by the way, not even just for minors. This is happening in certain states in our country where it's not just affecting people who are under 18, it's also affecting people all the way, trans people, all the way up until the age of 26 years old, right? This debate can get very, very sticky. Um, Especially with being a parent of a trans youth. I'm not going to argue with the parent, but what I will say is that a former youth, right, someone who was underage and who already knew my identity, but wasn't supported at all, didn't have a supportive family at all, didn't have anyone who cared about how I felt, didn't have anyone who took me seriously about how I felt, had a family who kicked me the fuck out and didn't care about anything about my livelihood, all because I was transgender, literally. All because I was transgender and we were all black and they were fake Christians, or let me not even call them fake Christians. They are Christians, but Christians on only certain days of the week, child. And yes, I fucking said it here live, right? As someone who grew up that way, it took a lot to get here today. And when people tell you that they are trans, it is not a joke. When people tell you that they are non-binary, it is not a joke. When people tell you that they are gay or lesbian or bisexual or queer, it is not a joke. And I just really, it just really annoys me when people utilize their beliefs to support hate. It's something that is no, 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 no. So honestly, I don't know what could be done outside of us staying informed and outside of us exercising our rights while we have them, because at this rate, they're just taking them all away, right? But all we can do is stay informed. I do believe that there are still good people on this earth. I do believe that outside of the GOP and the conservatives and all that stuff, there are still good people on this earth who genuinely just want everyone to exist and have rights. It's just really unfortunate. And I'm not even gonna say that this country became this way. I'm not a political girl, and I always try to kind of stay away from these conversations, but it is something that does affect our lives. Even if you are someone who's not trans, this also affects your life. It does. It does. You don't have to be a trans person to feel this sting. In the same way that I'm not a natal born woman or a cisgender woman or someone who's able to have child, I still felt the sting of Roe versus Wade. Probably not the same. Not the same. I'm not going to take up that space. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to understanding someone's rights being taken away, this is just a super, super serious matter that deserves our attention, and we have to figure out a way to combat this through exercising our right? So I can't tell nobody what to do. Once again, I'm not a political strategist. That's not a strength of mine, but I know a little bit of something. And what I do know is that this is not right. And it's just super unfortunate what's happening to trans youth. It's super unfortunate what's happening to our youth who are anti-LGBTQ across the spectrum. You know, what about the youth who are not privileged to live on the coast? What about the youth who are not privileged to have families who support them, right? What about the youth who live inward, right? Who live in those red states, right? It's a really crazy time where they're literally telling people what bathroom they can't use, where people are literally being policed in every single way. I'm gonna stop right here, but this was something that was just really on my mind and on my heart, and I just felt like I wanted to share those two pieces of information just to bring awareness. I know that I can't do much but just exist. I know that one person can't really change the world, but what I do want to say to my trans audience and my LGBTQ audience, even if you're not trans or non-binary, but if you are not binary trans, right? We got to keep going. We all have to keep going, and we all have to keep living our lives. And we all have to figure out a way to stay informed. You know what I mean? And we just have to really, when they say vote, we have to do that, y'all. We have to figure that out. You know, I know that a lot of people are very discouraged, and a lot of people are very disappointed and disillusioned and want to give up, because it's exhausting living this experience. It's not easy at all. And for the people who want to say stuff like, "Oh, this is a choice," it is not a choice, right? This is this is how we all feel. You know what I mean? And to minimize and erase and delegitimize and stigmatize who we are, it's just crazy and it's insane, you know? And yeah, that's all I have to say on this. Drop down below and tell me your thoughts. Um, Drop down below and tell me your thoughts. I was a little passionate in this video. I apologize if I was yelling into the mic and it was probably a little loud. But it is something that definitely weighs heavy. And it is something where it brings us to the conversation of human rights. You do not have to be a trans person to understand that this is wrong. Don't use that as an excuse. We can understand civil rights. We can understand women's rights. We can understand, you know, but when it comes to us, we need people who really support us. You know, nothing is being taken away from anybody. Nothing is being taken away. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah, that's all I got to say on this, y'all. This shit is exhausting. I apologize for cussing. But thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. And I hope with that article that I at least gave you some knowledge. This video might not even get a lot of views, but it was something that I at least wanted to lend my voice to and do what I can to just spread awareness and at least have this conversation. You know, I just want to reaffirm that we are very much so still a part of this society, you know. And if you are a trans youth, I just want to give you hope that you can make it past this, right? If you are in a state where these bills actually go through, you can get past this dark time. I've been someone who did not have a supportive family. You know what I mean? So I know how that feels like, to feel like, damn, like I'm out here by myself, or like I don't have a voice and I'm erased. Like, I fully know how that feels. I know how it feels to have to wait to transition because I couldn't do it early enough, right? If you have to wait, you might have to wait, unfortunately, but just know that you can still live. You can still live this life. You are still very much so deserving, and you are still very much so blessed to still exist, you know. And there's ways to figure this out. We just got to figure this out, y'all. I don't have all the answers, but what I will say is that if you are a trans youth, you know, you have to just figure out all the support that you can. And I can't speak for all trans youth. And I am not a parent as well. That's why I'm trying to stay away from that conversation, because, you know, parents like to, and people who are conservatives like to say that we influence these youth to be LGBTQ, and that is not the case. If you have a child who is trans or gay or lesbian or bisexual or queer or pansexual or, you know, gender fluid, gender queer, agent, if you have a kid who is, or a youth or a teenager or a young person or a young adult who is telling you who they are telling you the truth. That is who they are. That is who they are. That is who they are. I can't tell anyone how to parent. You know, I can't, but what I can say is that when people try to say that that's not who they are, that is who they are. People know. I knew. You know? Anyways, let me get the hell off of here. This video is long as hell. I hope you enjoyed this very intense, passionate rant of mine. Drop down below, tell me your comments, your thoughts. If you're leaving hate comments, I do not see them. I am protecting my energy. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my channel. I know I cussed a little bit here, but sometimes you have to. And yeah, we are gonna keep going, and we just gotta hang in there one day at a time. For my LGBTQ folks, like, we just have to really hang in there. You know what I mean? And stay informed. And I know it's very exhausting. I'm exhausted even wrapping this up. But I'm done. All right, we're done with this topic. And I might come back and make more videos in the future as time progresses. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Check out my socials. Check out my podcasts. I'll link it in the box. Ooh, drop my mic. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good one.